Hello, my name is María Angélica Arango. I'm in third semester of medicine in the Pontifical Bolivarian University, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of this original article called Development of Novel Visual Detection Methodology for Salmonella in Meat Using Saltatory Rolling Cycle Amplification. So, first, we need to know what is Salmonella. And Salmonella is an important foodborne pathogen responsible for frequent gastroenteritis, intestinal illnesses, foodborne outbreaks, and deaths worldwide. Salmonella is a genus rod-shaped Bacillus gram-negative bacteria from the family Enterobacteriaceae. Generally, humans acquire these infections through consumption of the food, but is contaminated. What type of food? Milk, eggs, pork, beef, and others. And they are facultative anaerobes. The Salmonella can be detected in different ways. For example, immunochromatography, PCR, and SRCA. The ideal method should have high sensitivity and high specificity, and at the same time be simple, rapid, and inexpensive. The aim of this study was to develop a saltatory rolling cycle amplification assay for simple and visual detection of Salmonella in food, meat. This study had four methodologies. The first one was DNA extraction, that consists on the separation and purification of the DNA based on these physicochemical characteristics in order to analyze, study, and manipulate it. PCR is a molecular biology technique that seeks to amplify a fragment of the genetic material millions of times, and it stands for polymerase chain reaction. PCR real-time is a variant of the PCR used to amplify and simultaneously quantify the product of the DNA. And SRCA stands for saltatory rolling cycle amplification, and it is an enzymatic amplification technique that seeks to identify and amplify a specific DNA sequence. This study gave a lot of results. For example, the time. The longer the time, the better the distribution of the band and the better the interpretation, more specifically at 120 minutes. Temperature. At a temperature higher than 60 degrees Celsius, the better the band distribution and the better the interpretation, more specifically at 64 degrees Celsius. As I said, the PCR real-time gives me a quantitative result of the genetic material being evaluated, and the result is simultaneous. The performance of this test is analyzed in order to be able to commercialize it. That's why the time, the temperature, and the concentration are being measured. It is important to remember that when we are analyzing a PCR test, when it is black font, white stripes, it means DNA. Momit et al. Said, and I quote, "The current SRCA assay had better analytical sensitivity than the polymerase spiral reaction assay previously developed by our group for detecting Salmonella in pork." Milton said, and I quote, "The ingenuity of the developed SRCA assay was its minimal requirements, one single enzyme and a single pair of primers, unlike other multiple primers isothermal techniques." And Wong said, and I quote, "Previously, SRCA assays reported about 10 times better analytical sensitivity." At the end, I think that molecular biology has made it way much easier to diagnose patient disease thanks to the development of the molecular test and technologies. Also, molecular biology is one of the broadest and most developed fields in medicine. And molecular biology connects us, the past, with the present and the future. Why? Because taking into account that thanks to the technology of now, we can study and analyze millions of things from the past that serve us for the future studies, diagnosis, and technology improvement. Thank you very much.